Yeah. Yes, sir.
What it do? 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 What's good? What it do? Hey.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for tuning in to another episode of the Generational Wrestling Podcast. As always, is yours truly, the 29-year-old piece of gold, the franchise, aka the showstopper, better known as the GOW's resident tribal chief. And with me, as always, look at my tag team partner, my brother, my family. He is the flyest in the room, Mr. 1, 2, 3. Pin that ass down, K Breezy, aka EC's resident Isaac Hayes, bro. What's good?
Man, what's up with the people? What's up with you, man? It is Thursday, man. We told y'all we was coming with a couple of things for you, and we damn sure are here for y'all. What's good? What's up? Lonnie, hey, what it do? What it do?
Kimberly, what's good?
Kimberly, hey, what up, mama? Hey, I ain't seen you in a while. Glad to see you back with the GOW.
All right, so tonight, Too Cold tonight, we're gonna go over the greatest women, female wrestlers, divas in WWE history. We taking it all the way back from 1998 all the way up to present day 2022. And with that being said, before we get started, I need y'all to do two things for me. I need you guys to bend the knee to your humble king and as we get ready to cut the shit and keep it all the way real. And we're going to tell y'all, man, this some of these picks going to be controversial, but since Too Cold has 1998 through 2010, Too Cold, man, who are your top 10? And I'm going to give my top 10 from the 2011 era to present day. We're going to mention some of our honorable mentions because we know there's going to be some people who got left out, and we're going to have to justify some stuff. Also, guys and girls, feel free to put your 2 cents in as well. And then what we're going to have to do is, out of my top 10 to his top 10, we got to figure out who stays, who goes, and come up with a final top 10 women in WWE history. With that being said, we're also going to take into account any careers they may have had outside of WWE, such as Impact and so forth. So, with that being said, King Too Cold, let me switch the screens. Let me put you in first position. There you are. What is your top 10?
Okay, so to kind of clarify, because I know we were trying to explain what we want to do, and then as we were explaining it, and then as we come up with other stuff, we're like, okay, we need to change things up. So because women's wrestling was never really a big thing, you had a few. I feel like I have to honorable mention a few women. You know, Fabulous Moolah, Mae Young, and all of those. Like you have to you have to acknowledge them. You can't leave those out. But they didn't have a lot of great competition. You know, the women of wrestling didn't really get the respect. Some had to fight really hard for it. But we wanted to focus where women really got their just due. And I feel like that time, you know, right around where you got the leader, you got the introductions of, you got Jazz, you got Jacqueline, you had a few other people. You had Ivory, who was actually a great in-ring performer and a multiple-time champion. She was I'm sorry, Right to Censor is her shit. that is it. Right to Censor is hers, man. That she was the most annoying person out of the group.
Bro, she was PC before PC was even
man, but in the ring, she could be just as vicious as any woman. So there are a handful of women who were really good, but didn't really necessarily get the due that they were deserved. So it took a few years, and then we finally got to that evolution. So that's why we kind of started from a certain point, and we just kind of move forward. We want to focus on the evolution of the wrestling. So I'm not going to say this is in particular order, but these are some of the women. And yes, some of the women I'm going to mention, they had careers in WWE. They either started there or left and maybe went somewhere else. So I'm going to mention a few names. Lonnie, what's going on, man? We gonna get to that in a minute. That's more. I don't. We gonna get to that in a minute.
Leo says y'all better have Santino on that list or it isn't valid. Hell no.
Well, it ain't valid. Well, it ain't valid because he damn sure ain't on this list, and neither is James Ellsworth because he ain't on this list either. But no. So my top 10.
Yeah.
For me, watching women come up. First and foremost, number one, I gotta throw this girl up there because she was. I said it to you earlier. She was kind of that Charlotte Flair before we knew what a Charlotte Flair would really look like. Before we even knew Ric Flair's daughter would even be wrestling.
Right.
And she was our own chick. She was badass in the ring, and she was a pioneer. I gotta throw Alundra Blaze up in there. Like, I'm sorry, I gotta have Alundra Blaze, aka Medusa. He's like, come on, Leo. Lottie getting on you, Leo. Come on, Mrs. WrestleMania ain't on the list. Nah, yeah, she ain't on the list. No, she ain't on the list, man. We are not putting Santina. No, we're not putting Santina on the list. No. But my first pick, man, I gotta go with Alundra Blaze. After Alundra Blaze, it is most definitely, without a doubt, China did things that you didn't really see too many modern women do. You might have saw May Young. I know Moolah and them used to fight men sometime, but he said, my boy said, I got to meet Medusa, the truck rally, man. And oh shit, all right, bet. Man, I know that had to be awesome. But China was the first female to win the Intercontinental Championship. She went into the first woman to enter the men's Royal Rumble. China whooped as much men ass as she did women's ass. So it's like, dude, I would have loved for her career to have gone longer, but she won men's championships. She's won women's championships. I cannot disregard China and what she does. Next up, I gotta go with Gail Kim. Why am I going with Gail Kim? Because when Gail Kim came in as someone that was she was legit. She was a fighter. She was a wrestler. She wasn't what you typically thought WWE women would be. And it's a shame that she didn't get to do more in WWE, even though she did win the women's championship. She has won it, so she got to do something. But WWE was still too focused on sex appeal. Yeah. So unfortunately for her credibility comes from Impact. What she did there, being a multi-time champion, the rivalry she had with other women, up-and-coming women, as an ODB, an Awesome Kong, and a few other women. And she helped made that Knockouts division and gave it the respect that it has today. So it's like, she's had a short stint 2 times in WWE, but I can't let that girl go. I got to add her on there. So, Gail Kim is my number 3. Now we getting really into it. And again, it's not my particular order. I'm just going off, kind of just when they kind of establish themselves. But you got Trish Stratus. Now, Trish Stratus is the epitome of a Barbie girl. She was a sex symbol. She was pretty. You didn't see she was just eye candy. Nobody saw Trish developing in the ring the way she did, and her characters, her heel turns, the way Trish was good. Trish knew what to do. Trish was she was made for wrestling. When she and Lita, and let me just go ahead and say Lita's my next pick. When these 2 women came in and they created and did the things you never saw a woman do. Monty, I'm not sold on Sable Monty. But Lita and Trish were those 2 women that were different. No one saw women coming up and doing moonsaults off the top rope, hurricanranas on men on the outside. Like, this girl was wild and crazy. Then when she teamed up with the Hardy Boys, it skyrocketed from her. That woman won, I believe, 6 or 7 women's championships. Her and Trish had one of the best women's wrestling rivalries in WWE up until recently, when you got the Sasha Banks and the Charlotte Flair, and you think of Becky Lynch or Sasha Banks and Bayley and a few other women.
But what's crazy about that too, speaking of Trish and Lita and their rivalry, I mean, even to today, when you look at just rivalries across all promotions, men or women, that Lita and Trish rivalry, that stands the test of time, because it was one of those, it was kind of like the DIY effect, where when they were best friends and tag team partners, legendary. When they went at it, it was crazy. So no, absolutely, definitely. And then to see what they did apart from each other as well was dope as hell.
Most definitely. So that those 2 women definitely helped set the standard for some of these other women, and one of those other women was Mickie James. All right, Mickie James, 6-time former WWE Women's Champion. This woman has done it all. She has put on a career. her best match to me was the one at WrestleMania with Trish. Like
Yeah.
that whole little stalker fangirl kind of, you know, lover kind of cruel storyline. It was so weird and off-selling, just the creepiness that like it just showed how good she was. And we got to talk to her, and she talked to a little bit about it and whatnot. But her career overall, yeah, it still expands today. But the but Mickey started around that time. So I got to give her, she came in winning championships. She was an impact player. She did things. So Mickie James is my number 6. All right. That's just, you know, part of my top 10. Now my number 7, this is where it kind of gets dicey because I don't want to leave anybody off, but I gotta make sure I gotta mention Ivory. I feel like I gotta throw Ivory up there. You can protect Ivory. She didn't get to do as much as the other women, but I'm not really putting her on my list. But I want to mention her. Victoria was definitely one of those women. I want to kind of put her up there, but I'm kind of torn on that one. Molly Holly. I'm torn between Ivory, Molly Holly, Jazz, Victoria, Kong, and that's it. They're like those are my last little few, and Beth Phoenix. I'm torn between those. I got to go with Beth Phoenix because she set a standard. Even though she was the most dominant female in the Divas era, uh, nobody was messing with her. I wish they would have let her do a little more, but she was still dominant. So during this time frame, I got to put Beth Phoenix. She's up there. I got to go with my girl Jazz because Jazz was just a badass, man. Jazz did not let anybody punk her out. Jazz would whoop anybody ass any damn where, and she's won multiple women's championships. She's won on WrestleMania. She's beaten the best. So I gotta give her. I want to give Jazz, the queen, her just due and put her on the list. Molly Holly, I'm adding Molly Holly. Molly Holly was a sleeper. She could wrestle. She could go. She was a great character. She's a multi-time women's champion. You know, some of the impact of other women were probably a little more than some of my lower part of the list, but I can't disregard what I saw from them. They were credible. I like seeing them in the ring, and when they were doing legit stuff. I'm sorry, the match between her and was it Molly Holly versus Victoria for the hair versus hair match? Like it was a good match. It was a really good match. The ending was terrible as far as the, you know, cutting their hair off. Like that was really, you could tell she was really hurt. Like she didn't really want to cut her hair off, but she did it for the company. But you could tell in her eyes, man, she was like, "Oh my god, you motherfuckers are cutting my hair! You motherfuckers of my hair!" So you know, Molly's got to get up there, man. So I got Molly, and lastly, what was that 9? Molly, Jazz, Beth, Mickie. Yeah, I got to go with Awesome Kong. I feel like I got to add Awesome Kong to this list. I'm torn between her and Victoria, but I want to add Kong because as a big woman, she was dominant. She had a great feud with Beth Phoenix, but she's had her run. So trust me, this was not easy because I'm pretty sure I could probably swap one or two of these people out, but I could probably swap Kong for Victoria. But Victoria was cool. I liked the Victoria, you know, especially when she did a little booty shake. But but she was really good in the ring, though, man. I'm joking about that, but she was really good in the ring. So that's my top 10. I'm going with right there, man. I'm gonna add Kong in because I can't say Gail Kim without Awesome Kong. I wish her WWE career would have been better. I wish Vince would have allowed her to be the monster that she was and prove that she's good as what she does. But obviously we didn't get that. So but her TNA run was good enough for me to throw her up there on this list because she did have a stint in WWE. But I probably should go with Victoria. But we'll see.
All right, let's see. All right, so you got your top 10. All right, so now that was 1998 through 2010. So then I had to take over from 2011 through 2022. Of course, I believe we had the Divas Revolution. Tuco is having a little connection issue, so he'll be back in a second. But so I believe we had 2015 is when we had the whole Give Divas a Chance thing, which really kicked off the women's revolution, which would then be known as the women's evolution.
Keep talking.
So my first pick, this was tough. I struggled between Sasha Banks and Charlotte Flair for the #1 spot. Alani says, what about ODB? So right now what we're doing is we're just covering WWE women, and then we're going to do a separate episode where we cover women from all promotions. But right now we kind of stuck with WWE, but if they had careers outside of WWE, we just want to mention it. But going back to my top 10, so like I said, I was stuck between Sasha Banks and Charlotte Flair. Obviously, when you look at 2011 through 2022, that whole era, the 4 horsewomen, they're going to occupy the first 4 slots, no matter how you cut it. It was tough. I originally was going to go with
tough.
I was originally going to go with Charlotte Flair. I was originally going to go with Charlotte Flair as #1, but I'm going to tell you why I didn't put Charlotte at #1.
Yeah, you're going to have to tell me that one. You're going to have to tell me that one because regardless of how people feel about her.
No. I'm going to tell you exactly why. And even Charlotte has admitted this herself. She's got 14 title reigns. The last 5 of her title reigns were really nothing. They done absolutely nothing for her. And she's even admitted that herself. She's even said that herself. She wasn't happy with the way she was positioned in her title in those last 5 title reigns, and she's admitted it. That those weren't her best. And yes, she's a 14-time world champion, genetically superior. I get that. The queen, woo, daughter of Ric Flair, the Nate. But to me, it was okay. Charlotte Flair. Do I put her in the top? And do I put her at #1 just because she's a 14-time champ? Do I put her at #1 because WWE's pushing her as the #1, right? The female Ric Flair. That was an issue I had, and all these women are interchangeable. But I had to put Sasha Banks at #1 for me. When I look at the impact she's had not only on the women's division as a whole, but when I look at the impact of her appeal outside of professional wrestling due to the star power she's maintained as a top female competitor. She's been a top star since she came in to NXT, and much like Charlotte and Becky and Bayley, they kind of had to get their bearings along the way. So I got Sasha at #1, and then from an in-ring standpoint, I got Sasha at #1. But again, like I said, you could interchange Sasha, Bayley, and Charlotte. So this isn't any particular finalized order. At #2, I got Bayley. I definitely have to put Bayley on my list at #2. Two Gold, I don't know if you heard me, but I got Bayley as #2. I got
Who's your #1?
#1 is Sasha.
I should have knew that. I should have knew that was going to happen.
But this is what I'm saying. But what I said was my first 3 are interchangeable. My first 3 are interchangeable
because they're the 4 horsewomen. I got you.
But Becky's going to be #4 regardless. But I got Sasha #1. I got Bayley at #2 because to me, honestly, when I look at pure wrestling standpoint and I look at storytelling and I look at character, heel or face, I'm sorry. Bayley might not have as many title reigns as Sasha or Becky or Charlotte, but to me, I think Bayley is definitely tied as far as the best overall competitor when we talking about women's wrestling out of the current crop. And my thing is Bayley, she was great as a face, but when she hit that heel turn, it was like, that wrestling, man, it just, the storytelling and everything about her character really just got ramped up. So I got to give Bayley #2. Like I said, Charlotte's at #3, but those are interchangeable. Now, #4. This is gonna cause a little bit of controversy. We got big time Bex, the man Becky Lynch. Okay, let's call a spade a spade. Becky Lynch was always looked at as like that 4th person. NXT, same thing. It wasn't until she got her nose broke by Ronda Rousey where she developed a man persona. And they
no. It was the slap on Charlotte at SummerSlam. That's what got her over.
The slap got her over, but that broken nose that sent Becky
that propelled it. That shot her up. Yeah.
That put her in the stratosphere that she would never come down from. And I will admit this. Becky, as far as she's improved tremendously in the ring, her character by far, I would probably say she has had the best character transformation probably out of everybody, and that's including Sasha Banks. That's including
I don't
Sasha
know,
Banks.
man, because Bayley, I don't know, man. Bayley did the damn thing. Bayley
But
was
see, but see,
Bayley was on a John Cena level of lovable.
yes,
Like Bayley was that. I think Bayley's heel turn hurt the most because because she was so lovable, and then she just went to stabbing the buddy baby, and she was mocking the kids. Like I feel like that the man transition was more popular, but I think that Bayley turn, when she turned heel, that's what really, because you saw little kids crying. She made
yeah.
little kids cry.
I would say it was that was the most impactful out of the four. But I would say when you look
Yeah.
at consistency, because when we talk about longevity in professional wrestling, we talk about the ability to read the room. We talk about the ability to reinvent yourself. Right. When you look at people like Chris Jericho, when you look at the Undertakers, when you look at people like that who's got these extremely long careers, these have been people that's been able to constantly evolve and reinvent themselves. Becky Lynch has reinvented herself more times out of any modern woman in the WWE. I mean, you had last kicker Becky Lynch. Then she went to the man Becky Lynch. Then you got big time Becks, and it's like, okay, feel how you feel about them, but each character development was drastically different from the next, and it's been consistent.
I agree. The last two, yes. The ass kicker, I feel like that's where the attitude came from, that of her feeling like she was getting her opportunity. Because though she came in as I believe she was the first SmackDown Women's Champion.
Yeah.
When she was the ass kicker, but nothing much happened after it. Like she lost the belt and then she didn't get the title for like 2 years. Yeah. So it was like Becky Lynch was just like that. To me, that aspect of it didn't really kick off. Like I say, I feel like the slap did it for her, and then the Ronda, when you watch Ronda, saw her putting Ronda in the disarmor, and then everything else that came after it. I feel like that kind of made it a little bit better, a little bit more. But let me flexing at me, woman. Just come to doing the woman show. Don't mess with me. But I feel like Bayley. I'm sorry, Bayley's COVID pandemic. What is it? The Thunder the
Thunderdome era.
The Thunderdome era. Yeah. Hey, Bayley was that. She was that bitch. Hey, Bayley.
It was
Bayley did not.
Broken nose. I said Ronda Rousey. I meant to say
Nia Jax broken nose, but man, she that Bayley run was something, man. She was vicious. She was easel. She was, oh my God, she was nerve-wracking. But you're not wrong about big time Beck. I feel like the only thing that's missing for Bayley is the audience. That's the only difference between the big time Becks and Bayley. Is big time Becks got to come back with an audience. Bayley didn't have an audience, man. If she'd have had an audience, she'd have got booed out, because her and Sasha Banks doing what they did. Like, that's why I say those three, her, Banks, and Asuka, they were the ones that really, really held that year and a half down. And I mean, man, I talk about some heel work. But I don't disagree with your order. I would flip it for a couple of other reasons, but like you say, they're interchangeable, so it's all good. So, but go ahead, man. Who you got? Who you got as your fifth? Because you done with the four horsewomen. You better say a name. I think you better say.
So we done with the four horsewomen. Okay. This is where it gets tough, because I had to really trim some fat. My number 5, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna really explain my number 5. My number 5 is actually gonna be Alexa Bliss at number.
It better be. It better be.
Alexa Bliss. And the reason I say Alexa Bliss is because when Alexa Bliss got called up from NXT, she really didn't do much in NXT. And when she got to the main roster, I mean, she absolutely killed it with the goddess gimmick. I mean, SmackDown Women's Champion. I mean, SmackDown Women's Champion.
SmackDown and Raw.
Yeah, and then even when they put her in the whole tag team with Nikki Cross, like Alexa Bliss for a while killed it. And then I mean, the last 2 years,
Miss Money in the Bank,
Miss Money in the Bank, and the whole situation with the Fiend, that kind of derailed her a little bit, because I mean, they obviously had the storyline going with that. Then they try to make her a female version of the Fiend when he left, but people quickly kind of got over that and they wanted her to go back to her goddess, or at least, at least go back on that road to the women's championship, right? So I definitely got to give Alexa Bliss her due, because we talk about the 4 horsewomen, but Alexa Bliss was somebody that, from that 2015 on, was one of those women that you seen in the ring that was really killing it and could really wrestle her ass off. I mean, let's not forget, Alexa Bliss is only 5 feet of fury. Let's not pretend like, she's out here and she's the same size or bigger than a lot of these women. She's out here going out here having matches with Nia Jackson and looking half decent, but out here killing it with everybody else. So I got to give Alexa Bliss her due. Multi-time champion, female Money in the Bank winner. My number 6 is going to be that girl Asuka.
Ain't nobody ready for her.
I got to put Asuka at number 6 because her run through NXT at the time, the most dominant women's champion of all time in NXT history. I believe she actually retired. Well, not retired, but got called up undefeated. She technically never lost the title. So definitely got to put the respect on that. And then Asuka was an anchor for the NXT women's division, because it was during her class and maybe a class 2 before her where you really seen like, man, these women in NXT can go. Like, they can go with any roster on the planet. I mean, hell, they were better overall than the main roster because everybody was so hungry. Everybody
outside of the big 4.
Oh yeah, outside of the big 4. So I got to give it to Asuka,
because Bliss was there too. Bliss was there.
And then speaking of the pandemic, like you said, Asuka kind of fell off the wagon a little bit. But when WWE gave her the opportunity to prove herself during the Thunderdome era, she went out there, and outside of Sasha Banks and Charlotte, she was the highlight of the pandemic. She killed it in the ring, being funny, she made you
being goofy,
like awesome, and then when you think about the Kabuki Warriors, they kind of had something going with that. Then Kyrie saying she had her issues, and Kyrie left from an in-ring standpoint, and Asuka was kind of like in that purgatory. You ain't seen her in a long while. Then she came back, and then Becky Lynch found out she's pregnant. Asuka won the Money in the Bank, and then Becky Lynch get to her the Raw Women's Championship, and Asuka been kicking ass ever since. So I got to put Asuka at number 6, but then I'm gonna do number 7, and then I'm gonna give my honorable mentions before I finish off my last 3. Number 7 got to be Naomi. Got to be Naomi. And the reason I put Naomi at number 7 is because she came in on the tail end of the Divas era, and then you see where she came from with the Funkadactyls, and then you look at that, and then you look at her and her Royal Rumble performances. The female Kofi Kingston that she's been dubbed. When you look at some of her matches she's had in the ring, man, dude. When Naomi's actually given a chance, Naomi's had some pretty great fucking matches. It's not her fault she hasn't gotten the TV time that we would like to see her get. But when you see her in the ring, bro, she can cut a hell of a promo, hell of a champion. I mean, bro, I gotta put her in at number 7. Now, before I go to my 8 through 10, some honorable mentions, man, that I had Natalya. I had.
Whoa. Natalya is an honorable mention?
Yes.
Wait a minute, the one who basically made all those women great is the honorable mention? Ooh. Yes. Okay, I know why, but at the same time, it's like, damn, I at least thought she would have made number 10 on your list. But bro, go right ahead, man. Go right ahead.
Natalya. Melina, even though technically she came in during your group.
Melina's fine. Melina's fine. Melina's fine. Melina's fine.
But I had to leave her as an honorable mention as well. Mercedes Martinez, had to leave her as an honorable mention because she didn't really get a chance to really do too much in WWE. So I kind of had to leave that as an honorable mention as well. And let's see. It was one more. Oh, and AJ Lee. I had to leave AJ Lee as an honorable mention. And I am going to tell you guys why, from my personal standpoint. Was AJ Lee a great wrestler? Yes. But she didn't wrestle long enough and get enough accomplished in the time she wrestled for me to justify putting her in my top 10 over the women that's currently in my top 10.
Man.
Now,
Okay.
I would say this. I would say this.
Whew.
Is AJ Lee a top? Is AJ Lee a top 10?
Hey.
A top 10 competitor? Yes, she
Hey.
is. But can I justify putting her on this specific list with the crop of women I have now? I couldn't. It was hard, and I wanted to, but it was like I couldn't. I couldn't put her in there just to say I put her in there. You know,
Okay.
It's I got to be fair. I got to be fair because I was telling you earlier. I'm like, you can't let personal bias or favoritism of an athlete. You know, we got to be honest. Like, I love AJ Lee. I would put her in my top 5 personally, but on this list here, if I got to talk to the people, I got to be real. Like, accomplishments and time in the ring. Granted, it wasn't her fault, but she didn't do enough outside of WWE for me to justify it either. So,
well, she got a bad injury, but no, I get it. And yeah, she was Divas champion, and unfortunately for the Divas there, which kind of made it hard for me to pick really outside of Beth Phoenix and maybe Victoria and Mickey James. Like during that era, those were the women. Everyone else was kind of like just Barbie dolls. You had the Candice Michelle. Called me Mr. Johnson, said, "Oh hell no, we'll see Sunday how Triple H is doing the writing for him." Oh yeah, we definitely gonna see that on Saturday. The pay-per-view is Saturday. But no, I get AJ Lee. But I okay, you mentioned them, but Natalya though, dude, I'm not gonna lie. I look, I understand Natalya has had her ups and downs, but consistency of being a women's champion of all of NXT, WWE, she's won the women's and Divas, she's won the SmackDown, she's won the Raw, she's won the tag team. Like she's a Grand Slam champion. Yeah. She's one of the better in-ring performers. Like we know how good Natalya is. We just want them to actually make her, give her the opportunity to be great. But
so here's my thing.
I was surprised you didn't put. At least I thought number 10.
No. So here's my thing with Natalya. She's an honorable mention, but she's interchangeable with my 10th pick, and I'm gonna explain that.
Okay, well, go ahead with the rest of the picks, man. So we can put this thing there. Because, man, I know for a fact, I struggled with almost putting 10 together. I feel like you got way too many. I'm glad I'm older than you, bro. Because you had too much to pick from.
So going from 2011 through 2022, I had to narrow my list down to 37 women. Then from there, I had to narrow it down to 15. Then I had to get a top 10. Kimberly said, no, Natalya's fine as an honorable mention.
Okay,
Leo says, you didn't see her struggling Total Divas to get that TV time. Shut up, Leo.
No, because we wasn't watching Total Divas.
All right.
Oh man, oh god. Go ahead, man. Who's number 8, man?
So Natalya's an honorable mention, but she is interchangeable at number 10. My number 8 is Paige. I gotta put Paige at number 8.
Injury shortened that.
Yeah, injury shortened it. Yeah. And I know people gonna be like, but franchise, you said the same thing with AJ Lee. AJ Lee, her injury shortened her career. Here's the difference between AJ Lee and Paige. I believe Paige, it's been wrestling since she was 13. She's been a pro wrestler for 10 years before she even hit the WWE. And then when she hit the WWE, again, you talk about looks and
impact.
And you talk about looks, and then you talk about just the contribution to the sport. Paige was so drastically different than every woman on the roster, even at that time, right? Paige wasn't, your typical Barbie blonde. Paige, wasn't, your hot, thick black chick. No, Paige was pale as pale can be, and she was this goth chick, and she came in, she had a different look, she had a different swag, she had a different style in the ring, hard-hitting, ass-kicking, one pretty in the ring, man. She went in there and she did her thing. She whooped your ass and gave you that strong style. So with that being said, and on top of that, NXT Women's Champion. Got to give her that due, and honestly, I believe if she would have stayed healthy, oh man, I believe she will be killing it right now, and she would probably have just as many titles as not Charlotte, but as a Sasha Banks or a BAYLEY or a Becky Lynch. So I gotta give Paige that number 8 spot due to her career in and outside of WWE. Now,
even that special career she had.
hey man, we all gotta live with our choices. Number nine is gonna be surprising, but here's another woman again who's had an outstanding career outside of WWE, and she's also did her thing in WWE despite her not being on TV in a while. I got to get number 9. Currently, it's got to go to Io Shirai. I got to give Io Shirai number 9 because when you look at her career outside of WWE, every place that she's touched, she is absolutely, you can't fuck with her. I mean, she's won championships everywhere she's been. She's been the top person at every promotion. NXT, hell, bruh. Honestly, she was the top person in NXT, killing it. Unfortunately, when they shifted to the NXT 2.0 shit and they tried to keep up with AEW, they fucking killed her momentum because they had her wrestling every goddamn body running through her, and then they didn't call her up. So then she was just stuck in purgatory. She tried to do her thing with Zoe Stark, and Zoe Stark got hurt, and Io ain't been on TV in a while. But I got to give Io the number 9. Now, I say Natalya is interchangeable number 10. I say Natalya is interchangeable number 10. But, and this one's gonna cause some controversy. Hey, what Eric Bischoff say, man? Controversy creates cash. Well, I'm ready to be rich, bitch. All right, man. Number 10. I got the EST of WWE. I got Bianca Belair.
No, first and foremost, you're being disrespectful. She needs to be higher than that because her rise. Bianca, the instant success of her rise, I think deserves better than a 10, at least above Io, even maybe above Paige.
No. Let me tell you why I got her at number 10. Now, I'm not saying number 10 is like she's the worst out of everybody. I'm saying
your top 10. Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying number 10 because, and like I said, you can mix and match these, but you know, when I was looking at, okay, who was my last person I'm gonna put in here, I had to choose Bianca, and the only reason I say I put Bianca at number 10 is because Bianca still got a lot to prove. Now, granted, let's be real. I love Bianca. In the ring, she is the strongest, the fastest, the roughest, the toughest, the BEST, the best. Now you can call her a 2-time Raw Women's Champion, 1-time SmackDown Women's Champion. Still ain't got the NXT, but that wasn't her fault. Okay. Now, Bianca, when I look at Bianca right now, you can sit up there and say, hey, man, she get a 4 horsewoman and run for their money. And she should be higher than number 10 because actually she's the only person to, I believe, beat all 3 of the 4 horsewomen.
Except for Charlotte. She has a false Charlotte.
Okay, so she beat 3. Charlotte. And I'm pretty sure Charlotte's coming. So for that, yes, she should be higher than number 10. But hey, like I said, for like I said, everybody else, I'm looking at experience. I'm looking at their careers in and outside of WWE. Bianca Belair, she just came in off the street, man. Came into the warehouse, made a name for herself, developed a nice little character, a gimmick, and she happened to take that shit and run with it. Naturally, she's a beast. But I can't sit up there and be like, oh, I put her higher than Io because Io's had a career outside of WWE, made a name, came to WWE, did a big one. How many people were big stars outside of WWE, come to WWE and WWE treat them like shit? Paige, again, had a career outside of WWE. Asuka had a career outside of WWE. Alexa Bliss, she's got more on her resume. And on top of that, she can go in the ring. So, but Bianca, now I would say this. I would definitely say this. Well, I say Bianca has the ability. Well, I say Bianca has the ability to crack that top 5. Easy.
Okay. I hope you make that choice.
Easy.
Because you got to pick 5 out of that 10. God damn. Oh, you got to pick 5 out of this 10.
Yeah.
Bro, and the crazy part is you didn't even mention Shayna Baszler. You didn't mention her run. You didn't mention Rhea Ripley. Like I get, they still got some work to do. Their main roster, their main master runs has been questionable. But man, Shayna, I'm not saying she should have made the list, but you didn't even mention them.
Whoa! I got her as another honorable mention. Like I got Rhea Ripley. I got Tony. At the time, I had Tony Storm. I had Kaylee Ray. I had Raquel Rodriguez.
How do you not have the longest reigning UK Women's Champion on your list,
bro? Again, like I say, it was tough, dog. It was tough. But you gotta look at it. I had to choose. Okay. Let me run down really quick the amount of names. Let me run down the names I had to choose from: AJ Lee, Beth Phoenix, Calm, Melina, Natalya, Sasha Banks, Naomi, Paige, Alexa Bliss, Bayley, Becky Lynch, Charlotte, Asuka, Ember Moon, Dakota Kai, Mandy Rose, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, Shayna Baszler, Ruby Riott, Toni Storm. Hell, you got to even throw in Ronda Rousey just off the name value. Kaylee Ray, Raquel Gonzalez, Mercedes Martinez. Those are the 32 people I had to choose from.
Part of the 32, yeah.
So, yeah, somebody was gonna get shafted, and that's not even including Deonna Purrazzo, who killing it now. You know, Chelsea Green, who found a second life,
killing it now.
You know, so it's people right now. This bruh, it killed me to have to leave off Shayna Baszler, and then I see what the Ember Moon was in NXT, and then you know I had to Dakota Kai, I had to leave her off. Mandy Rose, say what you want, but then again, Mandy Rose right now she is killing it as the NXT champion, and she's come a long way from where she was on the main roster and ring wise. Unfortunately, right now because they got her as the top dog in the upcoming women's division in NXT 2.0, it's like, all right, she's kind of like a big fish in a small pond at this point. But it's like, bro, I had a lot. I had a lot I had to choose from, and it's gonna be crazy because I don't know who this number 5 gonna be.
First and foremost, dude, like I said, I don't envy your picks.
Hey, I got Naomi at number 7.
I don't envy your picks because I'm like, he's got a lot. That's why I'm like, man, that's why I gotta change the perimeter because I gotta give myself a little bit of option because it's like I kind of got an automatic 5, but I want to give some other women some credibility. So it's like I don't want to leave anybody out because they played significant parts. They had significant roles. It's just unfortunately it was at a time where you know they weren't given. They had to really show Vince and the rest of the company that we are more than just some pretty little eye candy. We can go out here and kick ass and do things. But boy, I knew you was gonna struggle. I'm like, man, I can name 10 people off rip. Yeah. And you left off a few names that I know I probably would have put on the list, but then you put most of the list together. So let's do this, man. We talked who we wanted. We went through why we picked them. Now we got to put them in the top 10. We got to put it in the top 10, man. So ladies and gentlemen, we need y'all help with this.
We do. Right?
We got to go with number 10. We got to get a majority vote when we get, and so we got to do this because we got a prediction show we got to do too. So we definitely want to get that.
But knock this out the way for my wife. Leave me.
She ain't. She been waiting to do that forever, but she ain't going nowhere. All right, man. So number 10. Let me. I need a whole new piece of paper because I done wrote all over this one.
Yeah, I got my top 10
dude.
Top 10 written.
Oh my God, dude. I don't even need that right now, man. Oh my God. Number 10, man. Let's okay. So number 10. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Who you got? You got Alundra Blayze, Chyna, Gail, Kim, Trish, Lita, Mickey, Beth, Phoenix, Jazz, Molly, Holly.
Man, if I gotta compare, so if I gotta look at certain women.
Wait. Hold on. Is it are we gonna do like okay, let's work our way from number 10 to number 1. So your number 10, my number 10, and let's work our way down to do a process of elimination.
All right, okay. So my number 10, your number 10 is Bianca.
Yeah.
My number 10 is Awesome Kong. I'm not gonna lie. I wish Kong would have gotten the credibility that Bianca has gotten. Yeah. I really do. I really wish she got it in Impact, but I really wish WWE could have seen the value in her. I understand she got pregnant, and I wish. Look, man, she got pregnant. You can't help that, man. All right, but I wish she would have got a true dominant run in WWE because I truly think, man, she could have been something. They could have used her right, but they didn't. And because of that, I gotta go with Bianca. I can't argue with the Bianca. She's her star power, her rise, the just her impact that what she's had in wrestling. Once WWE decided, okay, we're gonna bring this girl up, we're gonna give her this opportunity, and yeah, it kind of faltered a little bit, but it picked up instantly, and it hasn't really dropped for her. So for number 10, Bianca Belair. All right, man. You go ahead. I did number 10. You do number 9. We'll swap off.
All right. Number 9. All right. So my number 9. I already know where this is going, but I got my Io Shirai versus Yo Molly Holly, bro. I can't. I I love EO, but I can't even disrespect Molly like that. Molly got to go at number 9, just because she was so much different than the women at the time. Like Molly Holly went out here, and no disrespect, but you know, in the era of bra and panties and matches and stuff like that, and just the disrespect.
She wasn't in a lot of that.
She wasn't. She actually stood against that. So women like a Molly Holly and the Ivory, you know, I can't sit up here and talk about Paige, just, you know, standing outside of the crowd, you know, and making her way right in evolution, because Molly was one of those original women in an era where fighting like men, quote unquote, wasn't looked upon. They wanted the cat fights and all the silly shit. So you know what, bro? I gotta give up EO. I love EO, but I gotta rock with Molly. I gotta take your pick.
Multiple women's champion, multiple hardcore women's champion. So I mean, it's the hardcore championship, but she's definitely had an impact in wrestling. But okay, I'm good with you, man. Got to go with Molly as number 10. Ooh, wait, this is gonna get tough. Ooh, this is gonna get tough. Ooh, this is gonna get tough. Ooh, I don't know. Okay, man. Ooh, shit. Oh, shit. Jazz versus Paige. Oh, Jazz versus Paige. Bruh, I gotta stick with Jazz. I gotta go with Jazz. You're right about what Paige was, but again, man, I love my tough ass women. And Ivory, Jazz, Jacqueline, man, they were my tough ass women. They didn't take shit. They would smack a bitch, and then they would smack a man in a heartbeat. I love Paige. Paige was a little more athletic, but Jazz was brutal. What's your thoughts, man? I see some of the people got Paige. Come on, I think the people might have to make the vote on this one. The people may have to make this one.
Hey, you know what, man? Hey, it's a split
the
jury.
People may have to make this one, man.
It's a split jury, and you know what? Especially me, you know, as a black man, to see, you know, with a woman like Jazz coming up in industry, because not only was it a male-dominated industry, still is, but you know, it was also, you know, a white-dominated industry at the time as well, and to see the barriers that Jazz broke as not only a woman but a woman of color. But I'm not gonna lie, man. You know, Jazz is more of your era. I've seen more of Paige that I can remember than of Jazz. So it's tough, man. It's tough. You got Jazz, I got Paige.
All right, man. You know what? Let's go to 5 comments. 5 people tell us who they want. Whoever's on here, just say who it is. That's the number 8. Y'all say who number 8 is.
We got Call Me Mr. Johnson, got Jazz right now.
That's 1.
Money at Paige.
That's 1 and 1. All right, we out of 5 people, we need a couple of more names, and we gonna go from there, man. Jazz had WrestleMania moments. She has beaten Trish, she has beaten Lita, she has beaten Molly, she has beaten like some of these women that I have named. Like, she has mollywopped their asses and had great matches with them. And Paige, it's like I don't want to disregard Paige. So we got 1 and 1 on that. I say you got man. All right. Look, I'm
gonna just put it this way, man. Paige's career and the impact she had was so significant. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, the biggest box office draw in the history of box office draws, decided, hey, I need to make a movie about this
woman. You know what, man? I feel like I know where it's going. Yeah. Anybody else say anything? It's looking like Molly.
Right now, it's still tied.
I think this might be. I think this may be Paige. This may end up being a Paige pick. I want to say Jazz, but I stick to my guns on Jazz. But Paige may get this, man. I'm gonna put Paige there. I'm gonna put Paige. We can change it up if we get a change of vote. We'll change it up. We'll put Paige down for right now. But if we get a change of vote, we'll change it up. Right, but so right now, let's go ahead to number 7, man. Number 8 is Paige for right now until we get a vote. I feel like. Honestly, truly, I do feel like it's going to lean more towards Paige.
Lonnie says they're both great wrestlers. Absolutely.
They are. They really were, man. They really were. They weren't your typical pretty, just oh my God, I'm just out here. No, they would smack the fuck out of you, and I loved it. I'm not saying I love violence, but I don't know.
Yeah, I
Women that
love
could,
violence in wrestling.
and violence is resident right, but it's just something when you watch women who, ooh man, who can just, ooh my god, damn, she punched the shit out of her. Ooh shit, like I don't know, but it's just like, damn, she did that to her. Damn, that had to hurt. Like I've seen Jazz power bomb and slam people, and then like she broke them in half. But Paige definitely did had a bit of a bigger impact. I will acknowledge that. But go ahead, bro, with number 7.
Number 7. All right. Naomi versus Beth Phoenix.
Oh no, bro. I'm going with the Glamazon, bro. I'm going with the Glamazon, bro. I love Naomi. I love me some Naomi. I love the glow. But I gotta go with the Glamazon, man. Yeah. She is a beast. Yeah. I'm sorry. You pray that she wouldn't beat your ass. You just pray she don't break you in half, man. I gotta go with Beth. I'll give it to Beth, man. Beth, I'll give it to her. Hall of Famer. She, you know, it is what it is. Her career's over, but I'll definitely give it to her. Beth over Naomi. Naomi, she needs more, and that's where people feel like, you know, she's one of those people. I mean, people basically sent a petition in to put her on TV more, and it took WWE months for them to listen to it. So I wish she would have done more, but I got to go with Beth for that one. So that's number 7. So let's go to number 6. Ooh wee. Hey,
Lonnie said he had to go with Naomi. Oh,
Lonnie said he had to go with Naomi. Ooh, Naomi. Ooh, hey man, look, if we got to change them, we will. But Mickie James versus Asuka.
It's almost unfair. That's literally. If you had to compare eras like Jordan versus LeBron, it's almost unfair.
It is almost unfair. So I gotta go off. It is almost unfair, but Mickie James
even called Mr. Johnson said, "Oh man, unfair."
it is unfair. It is unfair but Mickie James is still wrestling today, and she's still at the top of her game. Asuka will obviously get there. I feel like WWE played us on Asuka's main roster run because she should have beaten Charlotte at WrestleMania. You could have built on the undefeated streak, and Charlotte could have beaten her at the next pay-per-view. But I feel like you had this woman come in, you played the undefeated all the way up until WrestleMania, and you had her lose, and people hated it. People booed it because it was like, no, man, this is the Empress of Tomorrow. We watched this woman whoop ass at NXT. We watch her come up. We are fans of her. We want to see her win. Charlotte's already won like maybe 6-7 times already by this point. Nobody gave a damn. It was like, no, we want Asuka, and they bombed on Asuka. But Mickie James, 6-time women's champion, Impact women's champion, NWA women's champion. This woman, as career-wise, WWE-wise, she still has more to me than I feel like Asuka had. If I just focused on WWE,
right,
her first run, her second run, whatever, she still has more. Man, I hate that. I don't want to not put Asuka on this list, man. I don't want to not put Asuka on this list.
Hey, I told you,
my god!
It was gonna get
oh
tough,
my god!
Man. It was gonna.
Oh my god! Tough. Why did you let me do this? Why did you let me agree to do this? Why did you not say, "Nah, man, this was stupid. We shouldn't do this"?
Nah. Hey, look, we got to give the people what they want, man. This is real talk for real fans. Like, this is why the people love the GOW, because we make the hard decisions. We say what needs to be said when the people can't say it themselves.
Mickie James, going Mickie James.
Okay, and I agree. We got hardcore country all day.
I gotta go Mickie James.
All right, now, man, we getting down to the nitty gritty because we got the top 5, baby. All right.
Oh,
so we got Lita.
Oh shit! God damn. This is getting worse. This is getting worse. This is not as going as easy as I thought this was. Oh my god. This was not easy. Oh my god, dude.
That's tough. Because
this on you. I did the last one. This is on you, man.
From a historical standpoint, right? Okay. See, this is where objectivity comes into play. Okay, because
go ahead.
Lita and Trish Stratus they were great and will forever be revered as two of the greatest, not only women wrestlers, but wrestlers of all time, especially for their era. Got to give them that. A bunch of first ever female main event on a Monday Night Raw. Got to give them that. But with that being said,
don't you dare not mention Impact. You can't tell me Lita didn't have an impact. You can't say Impact does not have a factor because she had an impact.
No. Lita had a hell of an impact because in the era where Trish Stratus was, you know, I mean, look, okay, let's call a spade a spade. That's my favorite thing to say today. Lita, Trish Stratus, both great wrestlers, right? But let's not lie and act like Trish Stratus was a little more fond. You know, people were a little more fond of Trish Stratus. Okay, let's be real. Let's be
no.
I think the
the general public was both. I feel like it was a split.
You think so?
Between Trish and Lita, because Lita, once Lita went with the Hardy Boys, that put her on a whole nother level. And when she started doing more wrestling and started that's what it was like. Lita was already that she's Team Extreme. Like, man, that's Lita, man. Anytime Lita comes out, the crowd goes crazy for her because it's Lita. But I will say this, and this is where I may concede to you. If I gotta go in ring, I'll look at it for in ring ability to work in ring. Lita is great. She's a Hall of Famer. She's a 6-time women's champion. I'll say I think Bliss is a better in-ring worker.
That's where you and I differ. It's funny.
Oh shit! I don't like you right now. I thought I was conceding to you to make a point, and you just gonna disagree with me. All right, man, go ahead. Give me your. I gotta hear this.
Alita's style was so drastically different. I don't think when I look at
it was reckless. It was reckless. It was hard. It was Jeff Hardy-ish because she was reckless. How many? She was reckless.
And I think it was more eye catching, right? You know, Alexa Bliss is a solid wrestler. Yes, she's very good. Yes, but when I look at Alexa Bliss's matches, they don't stand out to me in the way a Charlotte match does. I can't say I've seen an Alexa Bliss that I can remember and be like, damn, that was just like a top 10 wrestling match, right? You know, when I look at a Charlotte, a Bayley, a Becky, Sasha, you know, Lita, I got top 10 matches for Lita, you know. So as much as I love Alexa, and I think she may be more accomplished, especially due to the nature of the business now, I gotta go with the Hall of Fame. I gotta go with Lita.
Oh, you know, you talked me into it. All right, I ain't even gonna argue with you no more, man. I didn't look at that like, oh my god, damn, we matched them up somehow. Even though I know I didn't put them in particular order, but I know we matched them up. So I'm like, okay, all right, well, sir, I guess it's my turn. Number 4. Oh god, why? Oh god, why?
They've been teasing each other on Twitter, so we possibly getting a match coming in the future.
Oh god. Oh my god. Why didn't I put her at a different number? Why did I not put her at a different number? Puppet. I know we said unbiased, but I'm sorry, man. I gotta go with Trish. I got to go with Trish, man. I am looking stressed out, man, because I love all these women. These are the best women's wrestlers, and as far as WWE that have come to WWE, and it definitely makes me more of a fan of what they do, man.
I say, how in the world did y'all do this? Y'all playing this? I swear we did.
Man, we are not look. This is the reason why we kind of had to put it off, because we're like, man, we gotta make sure we got enough people to talk about, but we gotta put this in order. We gotta put this in perspective. We gotta do this justice. And Wait, man, oh my God, dude.
Hey, and now you see why it was so hard for me to come up with a top 10, bro. Like look at my top 10 with your top 10, and look how hard this shit is.
It is, but I feel like your top 10 was harder than mine because some of my women, you could change some of them out if you wanted to put some different women in there. But okay, let's focus on what it is. Trish Stratus, Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
I want to say the man has had a great run for the last couple of years. But Trish Stratus faction, I'm sorry, man, she dominated for years. Like it wasn't no just 1 year. Like after that first year, even that first year as a manager, she was like the hottest thing going. Yeah. Now, as when she started wrestling more, and you saw, and this is where I kind of want to change it for her because she wasn't a typical wrestler. Like, yeah, you could say Becky Lynch because Becky, you know, she comes from that background of wrestling. Yeah. But for someone to not be a wrestler and then to come in to be one of your best women's wrestlers at the end of the day, impact, star power. Becky Lynch has it now for the last couple of years. Okay,
but hold on. But you got to remember this. You talk about star power. You talk about impact. When Becky Lynch, when she, you know, got to the height of her rise, and she started, you know, calling out the Ronda Rouseys of the world, and you know, Becky's getting that mainstream attention as well. You know, like people out here taking notice of Becky Lynch right now.
She's the man. I mean, she's great.
Like she's reached that status to where she could lose a year straight and nobody would think Becky Lynch is falling off because she solidified herself that much.
No, I don't think she could do that. I don't think she could do that. But God damn you. God damn you. Oh my God. Oh God. Oh God. Oh, I can't bring myself to say no to Trish. I like, damn it, this is Trish Stratus. This is Stratus faction. This is the 7th time before they decided to let Charlotte Flair just win 20 championships in 1 week. This was the longest reigning women's champion. She set a standard. She set the bar for what these women want to be, and still the bar. Now she can come back now and still put on a great match, even it was a couple of years ago and it was against Charlotte, you know. But still, I feel like, damn you, I think you may got this one. Damn it! All right, man. Damn it, we need the people. We need the people. We need y'all. We need y'all.
Lonnie and call me Mr. Johnson. Right now, they got Becky.
Oh, God damn it! And you got Becky. If one more. Fuck it, it's Becky. I gotta concede. Because I can tell you right now, I'm looking at number 3. You ain't out arguing me, that's one.
What? Who you got for number 3? Let's just go ahead and see.
Oh, it's your turn. You got to go.
So we got Charlotte and we got Gail Kim.
Nah, Charlotte was your number 3. Nah, you got Charlotte number 2.
Oh, do I? No, Bayley in number 2.
Oh, you at Bayley number 2. Oh shit, then. Well, all right, man. I'm gonna be honest. All right, then number 3. So we had number 3. Becky Lynch number 4. Number 3. I'm gonna concede to Charlotte. I'm gonna concede to Charlotte. Gail Kim has a great career. Her WWE career. This is WWE, so her WWE career wasn't that much. Like, she won championships. She did some stuff. And I mentioned her more because of what she did outside the company, but what she did outside the company made them want to bring her back, but they still didn't know what the hell to do with her. I gotta concede to Charlotte, man. Right now one of the best women's wrestlers in wrestling today. Not even just the fact that she's a 12-time women's champion. It's just, you know, if you want to have a great match and you need a money maker match, you're getting Charlotte Flair. You're getting Charlotte Flair. Much respect to Gail Kim. If the order was different, I probably would have her on this total top 10 list. But I'm not gonna lie, man. I gotta go number 3. I gotta say Charlotte. Charlotte gets it.
All right. So you say that Charlotte gets the number 3 spot. All right. Lonnie says Will said too cold. All right. So now we down to our top 2.
I want to. Gail is great, man, but I can't put her over Charlotte. Just I can, but for just the purpose of this group, for this video, I won't. But go ahead, man. What's your number two?
Number two, we got Bayley going up against China.
Oh, you done? You go ahead. Say you can state your case. I'm just gonna say China. That's it. It's China. First ever women's champion, one of the most dominant women in WWE, period. The most dominant woman in WWE, period. Smack a man. If she could pick up Mark Henry and body slam men, ain't none of the women have nothing. Okay, none of these women on my list or your list would have anything to do with China. She would mollywop their asses. Bayley's good. Bayley's good. Bayley has somewhat of an impact. Bayley's good, but I got to go with China, man. Her impact, what she did, what she was doing when no one else was doing it. That still stands the test of time because it's something you can't never forget.
All right, I like. All right, now this one gonna be number one. The Boss versus Medusa.
Alundra Blaze. Wait, man. Yeah, this list is going. Oh, this list gonna cause some controversy, boy. Woo, this list gonna cause some controversy. Oh my God. Oh shit. Look here, man. The Boss is the boss. Don't get me wrong, but it may. See, I feel like you see. Call me Mr. Johnson. If you want to say somebody playing something, he planned this. He planned to make sure Sasha was going to be number one on his list. So when it came down to it, he was going to say Sasha's the number one, so he can brag about it. Yeah. I see it. That's why I'm like, oh, Sasha Banks your number one. Yeah, okay. I see how the game you playing, brother. Okay. I wish I'd have put Trish's number one. I started to put Trish's number one. And I wish I'd have did it because she would have won over Sasha Banks. But Alundra Blaze was a trailblazer.
Yeah.
She has definitely had an impact in wrestling. One of the only female people probably would watch. The only problem was she didn't have too much competition. She did historical stuff, but she didn't have enough competition. I'm not gonna lie. If I gotta look at Sasha Banks, I gotta look at what her and Bayley did in NXT. If I gotta look at Sasha Banks, I gotta look at what her and Charlotte Flair did in WWE on the main roster. If I gotta look at Sasha Banks, I gotta look at everything she's done when she was on the show doing her damn thing and they were allowing her to be her. I got to look at when she came in with Bayley for the pandemic. I got to look at the way she was able to win the SmackDown Women's Championship and think that, you know, she can't retain the championship, and she finally knocked that monkey off her back. And then she went on to have a great first ever WrestleMania match with Bianca Belair, and I can't disregard her impact. Alundra Blaze is a true pioneer. She definitely set a standard. Unfortunately, it was a standard where the women didn't get the respect that they deserve. I want to just give it to her just off that, but you won. You got what you wanted. I will say it, and I will never say this again. Sasha Banks is number one.
Okay, and now and hold on, and then too, really quick. So Lonnie said the way she left wasn't real good with the fans, and he talked about the walkout. But we also got to talk about Medusa because as champion, you know, she put the title in the trash can on national TV. And that's sacrilegious. So you know they both have done things in the eyes of the fans. And let's be clear. I want to be clear on Alundra Blaze, right, Medusa, because had Alundra Blaze come along in this time period, let's be real.
She would have came in about 6 years later,
yeah,
and when China and all of them was around, and she was more active around that time. Yeah. It would have been a different story. It would be a different story. Oh, it'd be such a different story.
Yeah, I definitely would have put Alundra Blaze, honestly, even over Sasha in that sense, because Alundra, she's from a historical standpoint, and Sasha too. You could say, you know, even especially with her, Bianca Belair, you know, the first ever 2 African American women on a WrestleMania card in the main
They
event.
gonna cuss us out for this list.
But
people gonna talk shit about us.
But like I say, you know, but you gotta understand, we're doing the top 10. But you gotta understand, we're doing the top 10. What, you know,
Overall, we're crossing years.
And to be fair, like the 2 lists, you got to look at the 2 lists as what it is, because for his list from 98 through 2010, you had a couple of women who stood out, but for the most part, it was all cookie cutter, right? So you got a good 20 years of wrestling at least to where the women weren't getting the respect. So then now the list is kind of, it's antiquated, it's bottom heavy, because in the last from 11 years, you got more progression in the last 11 years combined in WWE from the WWE standpoint than you have in WWE women's wrestling in the whole time before that. So you got to remember that. And then also people got to remember, you know, a lot of these people that we named have made their careers outside of WWE. So I know somebody asked earlier, you know, why don't you guys do like Impact? And everybody will actually, we talked about that before the show. We're going to do an overall top 10 or top 20, and it's going to be women from Impact. It's going to be women from every promotion we can think of. Right?
New Japan, NWA, Ring of Honor, wherever they're from, we're going to go through that.
But for right now,
we wanted to simplify this one.
Yeah, but for this one, we want to kind of simplify, kind of get a feel for it. And like I said, by no means is this like a final list. But
no, some of these names can be swapped. I'm not going to say some of them should be knocked off the list, but some of these names, maybe 1 or 2 can be swapped off. But for the most part, a few of these names can just be swapped in places. That man that was good that I can't. Hey man, look. I
wish we could
call me Mr. Johnson. Man. I wish we really could have, man. I really wish we could have planned it, man. Appreciate you, Lonnie, man. We getting ready to get out of here, man, so we can get this prediction done and in and out the way real quick. But I really wish we planned this really like to look it like this way, but we did not. Again, when we named our top 10. I didn't put mine in particular. I just named the 10 women that I knew I was going to talk about, and he named his top 10, and I just went with it. So I probably should have numbered my women. I probably would have. I'm not going to lie. Sasha Banks probably would not be number 1 if I did that differently. But it is what it is. I went with what I went with. I'm not going to lie. I won out on a few of these women that I got on here. To have Lita and not have Trish does make me feel some type of way. Like, how do I not have Trish on here? But it's because of where I had her and who I compared her with. It's not almost fair. Like, it's to not have Trish on this list kind of feels.
Oh damn, Fro, you missed it.
Oh, Fro, you'd have been so. Oh, Fro, goddamn you, Fro. Oh, Fro, we needed you, man. Oh my God.
We needed you.
Oh, Fro, we needed you, Fro. Fro, we needed you. Oh my God, we need everybody.
But we do have the SummerSlam prediction show coming up right after this. So
yeah, we got the SummerSlam, so don't go too far. We're gonna run through SummerSlam right quick. But that's our top 10 women for right now.
Really quick. You know, let's run through for people who need a refresher what we've come together on.
Go ahead, man. All right,
so from 98 through 2022, as of right now, like I said, these are interchangeable. Fro, you missed some of our honorable mentions. This isn't a final, but it is a final for now. All right, number 10, we got Bianca Belair. Number 9, we got Molly Holly. Number 8, we got Paige. Number 7, Beth Phoenix. Number 6, Mickie James. Number 5, Lita. Number 4, Becky Lynch. Number 3, Charlotte. Number 2, Chyna. Number 1, Sasha Banks.
It still don't feel right that I didn't have Trish name is not on this list, man. Like, oh my God, I feel like, I messed up. Oh my God.
Like I said, you got a guy honorable mention. You know, you got the Bo, you got Kaylee Ray honorable mention. You got quite a few honorable mentions, man. But yeah, that's the list. But hey, my head hurt. I know your head hurt. So we about to wrap this up because we about to come back on in like literally 30 seconds. Give y'all a quick SummerSlam prediction show. Then we got to get out of here, man, because this hurts.
Yeah, this hurt. This hurt. This was supposed to be fun. This was just something, we were supposed to do. But I feel like I
ain't never been so stressed in my life.
Man, dude. Oh my God. Like we may have to redo the women again. The women were a little tougher. I think that's why we wanted to do the women first, because we knew it was only so long that the women actually got to, you know, show their true talents in the ring. And we may have to redo this one again. But right now it's gonna stick for where it is for right now. But with that being said, man, I am a king. He is your tribal chief. We are about to come back with y'all with them SummerSlam predictions. So don't go nowhere. We won't be long. We're going to let y'all get back to y'all night. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us. We'll see y'all in a few.